We are Dexian, in the business for good.
Our next speaker is a seasoned expert in traceability, authentication, and supply chain innovation with deep expertise in GS1 standards, RFID, and mobile-based solution. He's here to share insights on transforming industries with cutting-edge technology. Let's welcome Bijoy, General Manager of Technical Services at GS1 India.
Thank you, Gates Foundation and Dexian Technologies for inviting us to share our experience and work that we have done in this space. We are a global supply chain standards organization, primarily focusing on supply chain standardizations to enable traceability from the origin to consumption. So we are present in 116 countries, and in India we have been set up by the Ministry of Commerce because specifically from promoting export trade from India, supply chain standardization was something which was very critical, and that's how Ministry of Commerce being on our board. Where the standards being used, whether it comes to selling the products or whether connecting the digital to the physical to digital or enhancing the efficiency in the supply chain processes, etc. The standards being used. Predominantly this is at the core level if you look at, so we issue UIDs for identifying every elements associated with the open supply chain, starting from the products, packaging levels, locations, etc. Standardizing data capture technologies like barcode and RFID, and developing data frameworks for sharing static information related to the products, business transactions and traceability systems, etc. So something which we are quite proud of and quite boast about us. So an easy way of introducing us is, if you look at those mineral bottles on your table, you could have seen it, you probably will be seeing a barcode on it, and it carries a number. It's the UID for that product in the open supply chains, and we are the organization behind it, allocating these numbers to all the retail products and potentially across different products in other industry sectors like healthcare, defense, and several other sectors, basically enabling its tracking in the open supply chain. So that's how that's one of the most widely used GS1 standards. Our association with BMGF, so basically for Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, they were visioning to establish traceability protocols in livestock sector to enable tracking of the product right from its origin all the way to the consumption, under the Bharat Pashudan initiative, which is a project driven under the flagship initiative of the department, National Digital Livestock Mission. So the objective of this program is to focus on disease surveillance for the livestock products, as well as enable traceability from the origin and create demand for those products into the export markets, because when it comes to exporting livestock products from India, traceability is one of the key component which is required for export markets. And India being very fragmented in nature, the market being very fragmented in nature and unorganized in nature, so whether achieving traceability is kind of a challenge, and that's where this concept. So we are piloting this initiative in 3 sectors, which is dairy, wool and poultry at the moment. So while we started, so we were targeting to find answers, how far is feasible, how much we can go in terms of traceability, what is the readiness level, whether the participants whom we are trying to associate is there to share the data, because when the traceability is all about the data, we are trying to connect all the touch points in the supply chain, and then there is a lot of data which is very proprietary to the organizations who will be involved in the chain, and whether they will be comfortable in sharing those data, and what kind of investments required, because generally when we talk about traceability, there is apprehensions about a lot of technology interventions, investments, etc. What level of maturity is required for different stakeholders in the supply chain at the IT level, process level, etc. And the objective was to come up with a broader industry framework for the industry to adopt. So we were trying to connect the retail product all the way back to its origin, or probably from the livestock, from where it is originating. So we have chosen this clarified butter or ghee as one of the pilot product, and we were trying to achieve it from where it is originating, from which livestock, with the milk sourced from which livestock this ghee is being eventually manufactured. So this is the architecture. So if you look at the dairy value chain, but broadly there are two different models which exist. One which is the single tier model, as well as then there are three-tier models. So in the value chain, then there are application layers, which is different type of applications which is implemented by these organizations using different technologies, and the data is actually captured into it. And those data, we try to bring it into an additional traceability layer, which is either using blockchain or non-blockchain, depending upon the context in which we are experimenting this, and eventually linking it to the product which is out there for the consumers, where scanning a QR code on that product, the consumer is able to go all the way back from where it is originating. So as a result, we had two products which is right now launched into the market, which is available across the retail markets. One is with Mother Dairy, one of the premium cow ghee, and with Anchal. So both these products was actually falling into the two different dairy models that is existing in the market at the moment, the single tier as well as the three-tier models. So if you look into the challenges and the future outlooks, the biggest challenge is basically all stakeholders talks about transparency, but when it comes to actually demonstrating the transparency, there is always apprehension related to data sharing and other aspects. There is a lot of awareness which needs to be built around whether the data, to make them comfortable about sharing this data. Adoption barriers, because tech we need to make it more accessible and more affordable in nature. And cybersecurity risk, of course, people worry about cybersecurity risk because these are supply chain data which is very core to the organization, and that data going into a kind of a public domain, does it cause any harm to their business? Opportunity is, of course, the food safety and compliance, and the trust can be built, supply chain efficiency, credit access for the farmers, because the demand for the product can be increased with these kind of digital interventions, which can in fact be traced back. The all data which is generated, this process can be used for making credit access to the farmers. A lot of analytics can be utilized, done, because when we want to do AI, basically the challenge is to get the data in a certain structured and certain formatted way so that the AI can predict, do better analytics. AR driven, because when it comes to traceability, if you have a chance to scan those QR codes on this product, that data that is there is a lot of data, and not sure how many of us as a consumer will be really going through that data and analyze it before consuming the product. So can we use technology to make this traceability as an experience rather than just as a data? So we are also continuing our work in other sectors, which basically for meat traceability, similar initiative, trying to connect the retail product all the way back from where it is originating, as well as in the for the wool sector. So for the this year, this is what we are targeting. So that's it from me. Thank you.
We are Dexian, in the business for good.